There are several different types of cells found within lymphoid tissue. Reticular cells produce reticular fibers. These are similar to collagen fibers, but thinner. These fibers create an internal framework called a stroma. You can see the fibers at the tip of the red pointers. The stroma helps support immune cells, such as lymphocytes and macrophages. Lymphocytes are also present in lymphoid tissue. Recall that lymphocytes are involved in specific immune responses, and there are two types: B lymphocytes, or just simply B cells, and T lymphocytes, or T cells. Macrophages, recall, are monocytes that have left the blood vessels. They are phagocytic cells. And dendritic cells, which are also a phagocytic cell. They arise from monoblast, as do the macrophages. An antigen is a macromolecule, usually a protein. If it is a non-self antigen, it will trigger an immune response. We'll talk about antigens further, but think of them for now as foreign proteins. There are two types of lymphoid tissues. Diffuse lymphoid tissue does not have a distinct boundary. It is found in most of your organs, as well as in the lamina propria of mucose membranes. Recall that mucose membranes line cavities that are continuous with the outside, such as the digestive, respiratory, and urinary tracts. Each mucose membrane consists of a surface epithelium that is next to the lumen and an underlying connective tissue. The lamina propria is the connective tissue. If you look at the end of the red line, you'll see the epithelium. You may recognize this as the trachea. The second type of lymphoid tissue is what is called a lymphoid follicle or a nodule. Don't confuse nodule with nodes. These follicles have a distinct boundary and are circular or oval in shape. A follicle can either be a primary follicle or a secondary follicle. The difference is that a secondary follicle has a light-staining center called a germinal center. Located within follicles are B lymphocytes. If the B lymphocytes encounter their antigens, they will begin to divide, and this is called proliferation. Germinal centers are areas where B cells are proliferating and giving rise to plasma cells that will release antibodies. A follicle, therefore, that is a secondary follicle is responding to an active infection. Examples where follicles are found are the lymph nodes, Peyer's patches, which are located in the distal portion of the small intestine, the appendix, tonsils, and the spleen.